We back at it, fellas. We got another reaction video about, of course, same topic as all time. It feels like why lean is law. All right, because here's the thing: a lot of the issues that most dudes have, it always stems from this, but they don't understand why. Like when I say stuff like, yeah, man, just stay single and work on yourself. What I truly mean is literally become the best version of yourself and find your purpose. It will fill that void because I've noticed that a lot of dudes, right? They'll work a job. They're out of shape, obviously. They'll work a job. They don't really take care of themselves, and then on the weekends they'll be like, "Dang, I need a girl to fill that void. I need a girl to fill that void." Right? So they'll just start hitting up any chick, maybe a single mom of five or some shit, and they just want to hang out with any chick, or they'll go to the club, pay for a bunch of bottles and shit, spend all their money they work for to try to impress some chick or some shit like that because they're trying to fill a void, right? When they should be becoming the best version of themselves and finding their purpose. That'll fill that void. Because here's the thing, like for dudes who are who actually leveled up, right, and who are actually locked in, they don't have that same void that the other dudes do, right? The dudes who are out of shape and who are cooked and not doing what they need to do, don't have any passions, don't have any business, don't have any purpose. Those dudes are constantly looking to chase chicks to fill a void, right? Dudes who are always saying like, "Hey, is there gonna be hoes at the function? Hey, man, let's see how many numbers I can get." That played out goofy shit. Listen, me and my friend were talking about this, by the way, because when he goes to a function with his friends always get jealous of him because all the chicks are going to him because he has that energy of lack of desperation because he knows, like when you don't chase, you reinforce the fact that you already have. You see what I'm saying? So like if you're a millionaire and someone you're in the mall and someone throws like 1,000 ones on the floor, right? Everyone who's broke's gonna pick it up. You're just gonna be like, okay, that's nothing, and you're gonna keep walking, right? If you go to your break room and you see donuts, right? But you already ate everything that you needed to eat that day, and you're on a strict plan and you're intentional with your nutrition, you're not going to eat the donuts. However, if you're hungry and you don't know what you're eating and you're unorganized with your nutrition, guess what you're going to do? You're going to eat those fucking donuts. All right. So, what I've noticed is the dudes, like I said, who are locked in on their purpose, they have that void filled. So, it's like a lot of chicks will try to get their attention, right? Because the chick can sense that he is not. He is not desperate. He's not. His eyes aren't going everywhere. Like when I'm in the gym, bro. Listen. When I'm in the gym, I go in there and I'm like, okay, here are my goals because obviously I have goals to reach. I'm like, here are my goals. Here's what I need to do today specifically, right? And I'm just doing that workout, organized workout, and then I'll always see like some either younger black dudes or some older black old heads just like looking around and being like, oh, look at her ass, look at her, and just like desperate for some chick. Now she's bad or whatever, but it's like it's just beauty, bro. It's just the outside. Like they bring nothing to the table type shit. But anyways, that chick will literally just like start circling me while I'm working out, and I'll be like, okay, I'm done with this workout. Let me go to the other side, and they'll still be circling me even if they're doing a whole different body part. And then they'll ask me a question like, "You using this, nigga?" I've never used a 2.5 weight in my life, bro. Like they'll literally point at the 2.5. Are you using this? I'm like, bitch, I've never used that shit in my life. Just trying to start a conversation or some shit. Or they'll literally be like, oh, I like your shoes. Oh, I like your shirt. I'm like, bro, everyone in this gym has this goofy ass, like basic ass shirt. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Because they're trying to start a conversation because they could see that you are not desperate like everybody else, right? That's the energy you only get from mastering yourself, which literally starts with your physique. You guys who are saying stuff about mastering yourself or being able to master yourself without getting a physique or oh I'm a millionaire. Listen, I already told you I've trained millionaires who don't feel fulfilled. They're out of shape. You know what I mean? They have issues, shit like that. But anyways, let's get into the video.
Once you get lean, women start chasing you. The reason why is because your facial features become more prominent. They become more, let's put it this way, she's going to find it more attractive because you don't have face fat. Your face becomes more exposed. Your bone structure literally signifies sexual appeal. Whereas if you're fat, you have too much fat in your face or fat in the body, it displays the fact that you lack motivation, you lack discipline, you lack character. Now, you may not want to think this as a man because we all hold pride to a large extent, right? But the more you think about how a woman really views the man that is fat, right? The more you realize that, she finds it disgusting. She doesn't want to be with that because it's not pleasant to sleep with a man like that. Let's be honest. When she's sleeping with a man, she wants to be holding on something strong, holding on something lean. So lose the weight. If you want to avoid these common dating mistakes, go ahead and get the guide in.
Shout out to this dude. I'm gonna tag his TikTok because he's hustling, man. He's hustling. So I'm gonna tag his TikTok in the bottom. But listen, like he said, once you get leaner, y'all see the transformation. Y'all see the y'all see the community posts and shit like that. Y'all see once my face got leaner, like how different I look. I look like a whole different person, type shit. But just just literally basic evolutionary biology is facial structure is important for sex appeal, obviously. So with shoulder waist ratio, it's literally that simple because when you guys look at it, all the male models, all the people who go viral on social media and shit like that, it's all the same shit. It's leaner facial structures. You'll have that rare 1% of people who, I don't know if they have jawline surgery, but they have lean faces and they're like a high body fat percentage. But for the most part, it's usually dudes below 12%. All right. Your facial features are going to pop more when you are sub 12%, sub 10%. Like it is what it is. So, for example, if it's cold outside and you're wearing a jacket or some shit, like let's just say I go to the gym, everybody's wearing jackets. All right. And the chicks keep staring at me and I'm like, yo, why are all the chicks looking at me? I'm wearing a hoodie. I'm wearing, I have my face covering on. But at the same time, like when I'm sweating and shit, the sun, like if the sun's hitting through the window, you know, or whatever, and I'm sweating and shit, you'll see the fucking the jawlines just popping like crazy type shit. You know what I mean? And they see that. Then by the time I take the pump cover off, they see the lean physique and they're like, yeah, this nigga works hard. Like your physique being lean is a representation of your ambition, your dedication, your motivation, but also your ability to not follow the crowd because the crowd is 28 to 30% body fat. People in the comment section with no profile pictures, they're all 28 to 30% body fat. Well, if they're lucky, most of them are like 40, 50%. That's just the average person. I see it every day. You see it every day. It is what it is. I make this video and people might be going from 40 to 30%, but they're still at the average 28 to 30%, right? It's just the norm. It's just the norm because people are so busy working, not taking care of their physique, or people are so busy focused on the wrong things that they're not taking care of their physique, which your health is everything. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, most dudes are going to be out of shape. So separating yourself the fastest, right, and respecting yourself the most is going to mean that you is going to be you when you're lean. Like that's when you respect yourself the most, and that's when you separate yourself the fastest. Go anywhere being lean, you might see two. If you see two other people there, that's gonna be rare, and you guys are gonna be like, "Yo, what the fuck? You're lean too." Like I do that shit in the gym sometimes. Like I work out or whatever. There might be one lean person there. Then there's like one big steroid dude there or some shit like that, and just everyone else is regular. Then I'll go in the bathroom, take a couple of pics, and I see some dude who's shredded. I'm like, hey yo, bro, like blah blah, blah, and we start a conversation or some shit like that, right? Because it's like you're not gonna see shredded people in real life. It's just not gonna happen because it takes extreme dedication. I've done this shit many times, all right? It takes extreme dedication and focus. You have to be intentional with everything you do. People are not intentional on a day to day basis. Everybody can get 10K steps for a week. Everyone can eat in a calorie deficit for 2 weeks. Everyone can hit the gym consistently for a month. Everybody can journal for 7 days. All these things. I'll show you guys more of my routines and stuff like that in the Discord once we get that started. But like people don't do this shit consistently because then it's like, oh shit, this nigga's crazy. Like every time I hear someone say, "Hey, I'm gonna get lean this summer," or I'm locking in starting now, give me 3 months. After a month, they quit, right? Like nobody's consistent like me. It is what it is. And when you're lean, you start to get that mindset, and you start to realize, you start to get that awareness. Like, hey, man, when I didn't feel like doing some shit, I did it, right? Like when I didn't feel like eating grilled chicken, I ate the grilled chicken. When I didn't feel like going to sleep at 10 p.m., I wanted to go out. I went to sleep at 10 p.m. When I didn't feel like waking up at 6 a.m., I wanted to get 9 hours of sleep that night, but I had so much shit to do, so I had to wake up at 6 a.m. I just made it happen. You know what I mean? You do shit no matter how you feel. That's the discipline it takes. So once someone sees your physique, like once women see your physique, you know what I mean, and you're lean, they're like, oh, this dude is locked in. Like he's different. He's definitely fucking different from everybody else. Here's the thing. When I meet women, they're always, feeling on me and shit because when you create an aesthetic physique, you are creating art, right? You meticulously eat a certain amount of calories. You meticulously hit your macros. You meticulously take care of your sleep, take care of your body, so you stand out, right? You're a sculpture. You're literally a fucking sculpture, right? When you have Listen, I know a lot of you guys don't have this or won't ever have this, but when you have fucking veins in your abs, you got the V cut and shit like that. You got your serratus anterior popping. You got cuts in your shoulders and shit. Your back is shredded to death. You know what I mean? And your V taper looks good in all clothing. You're just a different motherfucker, bro. You don't need we don't need words, right? You don't need to impress anybody. You're not like, hey, look at my car. Like your physique mogs cars. All right. Cause nothing more unesthetic than a fat nigga coming out of a fucking nice ass car. It just doesn't look right. Now, chicks will look at that and be like, we can use him for money type shit, right? But you can also be a lean motherfucker coming out of a Nissan Altima, right? A fucked up 2008 Nissan, and bitches are gonna be all over you, right? I remember seeing, I remember seeing, in college there was some dude. His car was cooked, right? His car was cooked. His like personality was that of a rock, and his IQ was probably negative point .2, right? Or negative 100 if we're being honest. And he used to get all the chicks because his body was just a work of art. And all he wasn't like a science based lifter, bro. All he did was lift weights and eat the same thing no matter what. He would just stick to eating the same thing. He would not fuck around with anything besides chicken and rice. If we went out to eat, oh, I'm not eating today. No, I'm not doing that. I just eat chicken and rice. You know what I mean? But his physique was crazy. So like we used to go out, like we went to Panama City 2016. This nigga pulled all the fucking hoes, bro. He was 5'7". I'm 6'1", but I was skinny. My homeboy was 6'3", right? He had an okay physique. But like all the chicks wanted this 5'7" dude because his chest was crazy, his shoulders were crazy, he had the V taper and shit like that. You know what I mean? And his face was actually cooked. I'm not gonna lie, he looked like Frankenstein, but his physique was crazy. So all the chicks was all over this dude, bro. All the chicks were all over that dude. But anyways, for a lot of you guys that have these gesture maxing issues and shit, really just lock in on yourself for real. Because once you find fulfillment within yourself, the energy you emit is gonna be different. All right. I can tell by the shit that you guys say in the comments, like I'm trying to get my ex back. You're cooked. You're fucking cooked. All right. Because once you become the best version of yourself, you know that anytime, you know, a chick doesn't want you, maybe you guys weren't meant to be, which is fine. But at the same time, it's like she's definitely missing out because you're the best version of you type shit.